We are now going to move into the prepared speeches portion of the meeting, where Steve McGuinness will be sharing his researching and presenting project for his presentation mastery path. Have you ever ventured away from civilization and felt lost or ill-prepared? Do you want to leave home rest assured that you can contact an emergency responder quickly, regardless of cell phone reception or a dead battery? If you answered yes to either of these questions, listen up. Steve has researched personal locator beacons and satellite messenger devices for us and has some important results to share with you. Please welcome our next speaker, Steve McGuinness, for his speech. Am I going to die out here? Steve McGuinness, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting Talk It Up Toastmasters video. You're going to like this one if you're into sophisticated tech gadgets. Have you ever felt lost or that your life was in danger? I have several times in the past few years. Let me tell you about a recent experience I had early September hiking up to the summit of Mount Washington in the presidential range of the White Mountains of New Hampshire. The day started off at about 4,000 feet. It was a little drizzly outside, mild winds, but we were warned as we left the hut that the gusts at the summit were 50 miles an hour and they were ideal situation for hypothermia. I was on a schedule. I had to get to the next hut, which was on the other side of the range. Otherwise, I'd lose my deposit and probably won't have another chance to get up there this year. I had a full rain suit on, which supposedly was going to keep me dry, right? Wrong. And I was experienced in hiking in bad weather and poorly marked trails. So I ventured up. By the time I got to the summit, the winds were gusting at 50 miles an hour. The rain was pelting me in the head like someone was shooting me with a BB gun. Trust me, when I was a young kid, I got shot a few times with a BB gun, not in the head, but I know what the impact felt like. And rain was seeping into my rain suit in every single opening that it could find. By the end of that day, I was soaked through from the top to the bottom. And if it weren't for these cairns that they placed like every 50 yards or so, I would have gotten lost. And if I got lost, I could have easily died from hypothermia on that September day. No wonder why they claim it can be the most intense weather in the world. And no wonder why several people per year die in that range every year. So for this video, my topic was to research and present information I found I chose personal rescue devices, especially since I will be hiking 2 remote hikes this fall, either the 220-mile long John Muir Trail in the California High Sierra or the northern part of the Appalachian Trail in Maine, which includes the infamous 100-mile wilderness. Both trails are moderate to challenging for the experienced hiker like myself, and both trails you can encounter summertime, fall-like weather, or winter conditions in late summer. It's been also known to snow over a foot in the middle of the summer in the High Sierra. Go figure. So it turns out there are 2 categories of these devices, either personal locator beacons or satellite messengers. Let me show you a slide comparison that I prepared for you that illustrates the overall differences. If you can't see my screen text very clearly, you can hit the 3 dots in the upper right corner and switch to gallery mode with speaker. That'll help you for your first timers. But the comparisons are for both devices, they are both waterproof. You both get unlimited emergency calls, meaning they're not going to nickel and dime you every time you send for help. Usually one send for help per rescue is sufficient anyway. And they both operate at really cold and really warm temperatures and at high altitudes. That's pretty much where the similarities end. For the personal locator beacons, they deliver a strong 5 to 10 watts signal. They work in pretty much all weather conditions, pole to pole. They don't offer SMS messaging. Price range is $200 to $400, a little less used. There is no activation fee, which I love. Oops, sorry. There is no subscription fee, which I also love. And the battery life on these is actually 5 to 6 years. Yes, years, because you're only using the battery when you flip the cover open and you press that emergency rescue button. They are the easiest of the two devices to use. The ratings on Amazon for these are very high, consistently 4.5 to 5 stars. Other features are they are typically buoyant and have an infrared beacon to let people, rescue crews, spot you at night. Few of them have LED displays, but most don't. Satellite messengers, on the other hand, work mainly over private satellites. A much lower 1.5 watts, just like a cell phone, and usually work best on clear to partly cloudy days. You ever have the experience where you're trying to set in a GPS route in your car when it's raining or in a storm and it just doesn't work? You get the point. The price is similar, $200 to $450 new, less used. All of these do require a one-time activation fee and a monthly subscription fee, just like a smartphone. Battery power is 3 to 30 days between charges. Almost all of them have integration with smartphone apps. They are also easy to moderate to use, and they have a high 4 to 5 star rating on Amazon. Other features are location sharing. So people that you love can tell where you are. They can deliver a signal every 1 or 10 minutes, your choice. Navigation if you feel lost. Weather forecast for the current conditions or the next week. Calculated altimeter and barometer readings, and Bluetooth connectivity to your smartphone or smartwatch. Let me show you a few models that I've researched. This one is from Garmin. It's the InReach Explorer Plus. As you can see, it's got a bunch of icons and a menu interface just like a smartphone. This is one of the larger versions of the satellite messengers, but as you can see, it's a very rugged case and a decent antenna for not only messaging, but also sending an emergency rescue beacon. This next one is the same company. It's called the Mini, Garmin InReach Mini. It's half the weight and half the screen size of the other one. It still offers a 1 square inch LED readout with a half dozen lines of text to display when you're texting or want to get information from the satellite. This one's a Spot X device. It's also a satellite messenger. It looks a lot like those phones that companies gave out a few years ago. I forgot the names of them, but I'm sure you remember what they are just by looking at the keyboard on them. Nice antenna there too. This one is a rectangular cube that fits in the palm of your hand or in the side of your pack. It's got a power button, SOS button, no LED button, so you would need to use your smartphone to text people using that device. Same thing with this satellite communicator called the Blue Bivy Stick. It's got a power button, a rescue button, and that's about it. A charge button too, a charge port. Here is the first personal locator beacon I'm going to show you. It looks like an old-fashioned smartphone. The cool thing about this one is this antenna, once you unsnap it from here, it extends to approximately 2 feet long, and that combined with a 5-watt power signal can pretty much ensure that your signal is going to reach the satellite no matter what the weather conditions are. So that's what I really like about those devices. This is a device from the same company. It just has a 1-line LED readout that tells you that the message has been sent or received. The previous model just blinks once for sent, twice for received. So if you feel more comfortable reading an LED versus looking at lights, by all means, pay the extra $50. This device is a satellite beacon also. It kind of looks like a razor. You take the cover off and you shave, or maybe an underarm deodorant thing or whatever. But it's a little bit older and a little bit cheaper, and it may be an alternative for someone that is looking for a locator beacon that costs a little bit less. So those are some of the devices that I've researched. I've discovered the basic capabilities and strengths of each type: personal locator beacons, simple button press type, or these satellite messengers, which can interface to your smartphone and let you send and receive text just like you're sending it from your phone. Actually, from your phone, a seamless interface. So with this said, consider my needs. I don't have a daily need to call or text anyone when I'm on trail, neither my family or my employer. However, I would like the ability to get weather updates from a satellite from either device. I'd also like to send a rescue device from either type of device in any type of weather. So that would favor the personal locator. Which device do you think I purchased? Neither yet, but that's subject to change. I consider them to be a rather expensive luxury item for a person at my skill level. I'm hiking on usually on well-traveled trails and can usually count on getting help from a fellow hiker, many of them that already have these devices with them. And after all, I'm trying to get away from technology during these hikes and more in tune with nature. Which one of these devices should you get? No one can or should make that decision for you. It all depends on what your needs are. So do the research, read the reviews, and make an informed decision. Happy trails.
Thank you so much, Steve. You know, by the time we get to summer, at the rate that you're going through all these speeches, I'm going to be so prepared for 4,000 footers. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.